Hello budget people and welcome back to my channel. I'm She's on a Budget. Today I'll be creating my zero-based budget from the 31st of January until the 6th of February. If you are new to my channel, please do not forget to hit that subscribe button and click on the notification bell so you are up to date with all of my latest videos, and leave a comment in the comment box below. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is close down my previous week. So we are closing down the last week of January, which was from the 24th until the 30th. As usual, I go to my monthly overview page and I have a look at all of the expenses and purchases that I made. I made quite a few last week, so you can see that all of the red purchases, I took the money out of my food envelope. All of the green were from my utilities envelope. The blue were from my fuel envelope, and my sinking funds purchases or my emergency fund purchases were marked in black. So usually what I do is I have a look at all the purchases that I've made over the week, and then I note them down in the transaction log at the back of my book, and I look at those transactions, add up the ones that come from particular envelopes, and I then check to see how much money is left in those envelopes. This week I decided to use a different method. So what I have been doing is I've been walking around with this little notebook. Rather than carrying around receipts and such, I have just been writing down all of the purchases that I've made in the book, the date, the amount, and which envelope I took them out of, and the shop that I went in. Reason why I did this is because I found that when I was holding on to receipts for the whole week, sometimes I'd forget maybe to even take a receipt for certain purchases from the shop, and money just seemed to be missing. Not a great deal of money, but a few pounds here and there. So I thought the easier thing would be to do in my purse, to carry around a little book that I'd note down how much I've spent in each shop after I've made those purchases. And so far it's worked this week because everything seems to be adding up. So yeah, I'm just going to add up those totals and see exactly what I've got left in each envelope. Okay, so let's get started. The ones that are marked through in red are my food purchases, so I'm going to add those up first. I've got 27.61 plus 35 plus 155 plus 350 plus 97 plus 385 plus £40.78 plus 2 plus okay, so we've got 47.74. So 47.74, and my budget for my food is £40 a week, so we've gone over by minus £7.74. Okay, so the next one I'm going to look at is fuel, and I've marked through all of the fuels with blue pen. So we've got £30 and another one for £20, so that's £50 in total. Budget for fuel each week is 50, so that's fine. The next is sinking funds. So I can see from the envelopes I spent £25 from car maintenance and £10 in spending, so that's £35 in sinking funds. So I'm just going to put a line through those. And for emergency fund, I spent £10 from there. And utilities, £20, and I budget £20 for utilities each week. so that's fine as well. Okay, so you can see that I've actually gone over my food budget. I've gone over by £7.74, and I've also gone into my emergency fund by £10. So this £7.74 would have come out of my emergency fund money as well. So in total, I've actually gone over, or I've actually taken out £17.74 altogether from my emergency fund, which I will need to replace this week. Sinking funds, I used £35 in total, but I had £25 in my car maintenance envelope, and I had £10 in spending, so I haven't gone over at all. I've just taken the money out that was I've just taken the money that was in those envelopes out, so that's fine. Yeah, but the £17.74 that I've used from my food budget and my emergency fund will need to be put back. So as I said, this is a budget from the 31st of January until the 6th of February. So I've already had a look at my monthly overview for that time period. So if I look at my monthly overview, I can see that I have quite a few bills coming up this week that I need to make sure that I've added in that zero-based budget. I've got my car tax on the 2nd, TV license, and my regular debt payments that I make on a Thursday, along with my insurance. So I've got to remember to add those in this week's budget. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to write down my income. So my income for this week is going to be £197.27. Okay, so that's 197.27. I'm just going to put down my usual debt payments. So debts 5 through to 8, so it's 275, 20, 6, and 15. So I'm just going to add those up. 275 and 20 and 6 and 15, and that's 43.75 for that total. Okay, and then my expenses, I've got tithe, which is my usual 10%, so I'm just going to put that down as £20. And food is 40. Utilities, I'll be putting down 20. And fuel, I will be putting down £90 this week. It's usually £50 that I usually budget £50 for fuel, but this weekend, as I said before, my daughter has another canoeing camp, so I will be travelling up with her to that this weekend, and I need to make sure that I have enough fuel for that, so that's why I'm adding in an extra £40. So DVLA, which is my tax, is £12.68. Okay, so my total for this week, so 20, add 40, add 20, add 90, add 12.68 is 182.68. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do is add in my sinking fund. As you know, I had £25 in car maintenance last week, but I used that money and I'm going to put in there for this week £10. For canoe comps, as I said, we're going away, and I have £40 in there at the moment, and I'm just going to add in another £106, and this is to cover hotels and food and things like that that we'll need. Birthdays, I'm going to add in another 10, and spending another 10. Spending is my newest sinking fund. It's basically pocket money for me for bits and pieces that I don't feel are relevant for me to take out of my food envelope. So in total for sinking funds this week, we've got 106. So in total for sinking funds this week, we have 10, add 106, add 10, add 10, which is £136. Okay, so let's do our total. So total income is 197.27. Total bills is 43.75 plus 182.68, which gives us £226.43. And that gives us a remainder of minus £29.16. Okay, so I'm over by £29.16. That's without me even including my sinking funds. So if I add this sinking funds as well, we're looking at £165.16. So we're looking at £165.16 over the amount of money that I have coming in this week. Okay, so I've already, as you can tell, preempted this happening. What I usually do is midweek, I have a little look at my budget for the following week and just do a few calculations, and I saw that I was not going to be able to meet my basic needs. Sinking funds, as you know, for me they are not a necessity. They are a luxury, to be fair. But even my basic bills, I saw that I wouldn't be able to meet them this week. And bearing that in mind, I decided not to use the money that I had put to one side for Debt Snowball last week to pay off debt number 4. So I still have debt number 4 outstanding. I will continue to make the minimum payments for that as I usually do until I can actually pay it off. But I decided not to use this money to pay it off and instead put it to one side so that I could dip into that amount of money this week to get me through. I'm going to have to use quite a bit of it, as you can see, but I'm confident that I will be able to pay off that debt sometime this month. You can also see that I used some money out of my emergency fund this week. So despite the fact I've set up these sinking funds, I'm still finding that I am having to dip into my emergency fund on a regular basis. But yeah, this week I went into my emergency fund by another £17.74. £10 of that was to do with a tyre that I had to buy. I only had £25 in my car maintenance envelope, so I had to use £10 from that, and the £7.74 was my food budget. And the reason why I went over that was because I had to buy certain bits and pieces this week that don't really come under the food budget category. So I'm going to have a look at my different sinking funds that I have available and try and preempt that from happening too regularly in the future. So I need to replenish my emergency fund, so I need £17.74 for that. And I also need to add £165 into my income to meet my expenses for this week. So in total from my Debt Snowball, I need 165 plus 17.74, which is £182.90. And that will leave £34.24. to get Snowball. At least it isn't zero. It could be a lot worse. Okay, so I'm just going to fill in my cash envelope amounts. So you can see tithe, we're going to have 20. Food, we've got 40. And utilities is 20. Fuel is 90. Car maintenance is 10. Canoe comps 106. Birthdays is 10. Spending is 10. So in total, it's £306 in total. Okay, so that's all done. I've set up my zero-based budget. I have £34.24 left in my Debt Snowball account. Please do not forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll speak to you in the next video. Have a good day.